Your boy has finally done it. I have surpassed the 10K per month mark. I'm so proud of myself. I am so friggin' ecstatic, and I want to tell you guys all about it. So today's video, what we're going to be doing is looking back at my journey, and I guess giving you a few lessons as I've learned, achieving that 10K per month mark and actually surpassing it. So I guess first and foremost, let me give you an idea as to where I started, because this has taken me far too long. In fact, hold up. Let me get my phone out and actually prove it to you real quick. I'm just gonna quickly screen share, should I say screen record? I'm just gonna quickly jump into my Stripe real quick. Just give me a second. So as you can see, I'm gonna refresh this real quick. I'm gonna refresh it again. Okay, cool. So this is weekly view. So as you can see right now, this particular week, I've made 1.8K. It's way down from what I was doing last week. Last week I made 2.9K. We're looking at the net volume here, by the way. Gross is cool, but obviously net's much better. So if I take a look at the 4, we can move over real quick. And by the way, you can see that today is the 15th of May. So in the last 4 weeks, just from Stripe, so as you can see, just from Stripe, guys, this is just one of my payment processes. I've made 6.7K, and that's in pounds, of course. Now, what I'm gonna do is also go over to my PayPal. By the way, guys, PayPal, I do not use PayPal. I'm really trying to cycle off PayPal. Let me just quickly log in though. And as you can see, on the 30th of April, guys, I made 390 pounds. By the way, this is just like a lower ticket client we have. Now, just to give you an idea, guys, I don't recommend using PayPal. The reason why my PayPal kind of like payments are so small is just because with PayPal, guys, they can hold funds and they don't really explain why they're holding funds. I just don't recommend it as a payment system. Obviously, if it's the only option you've got, then obviously you're gonna have to use that. But for me, I really am cycling off PayPal. I love Stripe. I don't like PayPal at all, which is why none of my clients are really on Stripe. But anyway, guys, if you do the maths, 390 plus 607, I think it was 6,719 pounds plus the 390 pounds, that takes me just over the 7,100 pound mark, which if you translate that into dollars is $10,000. Now, just hold up. There's also a payment due in, it should have been due yesterday. It's actually going to be coming in on either Monday or Tuesday. That's 750 pounds, whatever that is in dollars, put it on top. Then also, guys, I also am owed right now $2,000 from a client, but I won't class that because I've not heard from that client whatsoever. I don't know what's happened to them. We were doing a great job. I literally don't have a clue what's happening with that particular client, but we'll kind of throw that out from the side right now. But the payment coming in is definitely going to count towards this. That's not monthly recurring, but that's a student, by the way. And if you guys are wondering like what's the student to actual agency clients ratio, I literally have I've only taken on 2 new students this particular month. So as you can see, that's not a lot of money whatsoever. One was for $1,000, one was just over $1,000. So the primary of this, or should I say the most of this, the large sum of this money is coming from the agency itself. Because I don't want you guys to be thinking, because I've seen these other gurus as well where they're making like crazy amounts of money, but then you realize that like 10K from that is only from the agency, and like the other 40K is from course sales that they've got literally got. So with me, it's the opposite way around. I don't sell a course, I just sell a program, which is a live one-on-one program. I only really sell 2 to 3 people on that each and every month. I keep it very low key. It's almost like I don't want to do it at this particular point. When I look at the opportunities I've got and kind of like the way how I could be pushing this, I literally could probably be making 10K alone from my personal brand, just alone. Probably even way more than that. I could easily just throw up a course right now and actually just get a whole bunch of sales with the sort of brand I've been able to build and the trust and that sort of stuff. I've been able to build with my brand as well, because I'm a very transparent dude. That being said, guys, let me talk to you about the profit margins as well, because I know that some of you guys out there are probably thinking, okay, cool, you've made the 10K. It's actually, when the payment comes, this new payment comes in, it should be 11K within the last 4 weeks. If you take a look at the Stripe dashboard I just showed you, I still have 5 days left of this 4 weeks, because it doesn't actually, I'm classing it in like in a 4 week time span, and I still have like 5 days on the 20th when I received the first payment of the 4 weeks. So it's actually been 3 weeks and like 1 or 2 days, something like that. Well, yeah, 2 days. It's been 3 weeks and 2 days. I've got literally 5 days left of the week, and that makes it a full 4 week period that I've made, around 11K. It should be 11K if the payment goes through, which I believe it will do. So the profit margins on that as well, because of my agency, I'm not even joking. Because I run an agency, we only offer a service basically, and a service is pretty much free to deliver except for like contractor costs. So I'm paying my contractor, I can't really disclose that to be honest with you, but I'm paying him a very, very fair amount. I'm very happy with the price right now. When I say my contractor, I have social media manager. I have 2 social media managers, by the way. One kind of fills in part-time, one is like more like full-time, if you will. They're not classed as employees though, they're still contractors. And I have a media buyer. I got a new media buyer, by the way. I literally just had a whole headache with a media buyer. I actually found them on Upwork. Again, it was really, really crazy that I kind of had like a real crazy couple of weeks as well with my media buyer. But long story short, guys, I got a media buyer as well. I also have a personalized first line writer. I got an accountant. So all in all, guys, except for like my contractors, because they're not based on a monthly fee that I pay them each and every month. They get paid per client per month, basically. So my actual based kind of like cost, it costs me right now £574 to actually run my agency. That's the software that I'm using, such as like Lemlist, Simple Invoices, e-contract signature type of software that I'm using. My accountant's included in that. Just any sort of like base fee that it costs me to run my business, such as like Gmail, emails, that sort of stuff. That's costing me 570 something pounds. I probably could cut that down quite a bit. Most of the stuff that I'm hiring. So my video editor's in there as well, because we actually just do a per month basis type thing. So that is all my costs right there. So as you can see, my profit margins are literally around 80 to 89%, probably like 90%, 80 to 90% is my profit margin. So I know that a lot of gurus out there will be like, oh yeah, we made 100k this month, but like they actually only made like 10k because their profit margins are literally 10%. But you get the idea, guys. My profit margins are literally 80 to 90%, just depending on what clients I'm working with, how much I'm getting charged per client per month, that sort of stuff. But yeah, profit margins are extremely healthy, guys, and I'm very happy with the business right now. That said, guys, it wasn't always like this. First and foremost, I'm probably sure that you guys are wondering, what does it actually feel like? To be honest with you guys, it's slightly disappointing. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like, I did bust a tear, as us Jamaicans say. Like, busting a tear basically just means shedding a tear. I don't know why. Shout out to my Jamaican bros out there if you're watching this. But anyway, long story short, I did bust a tear. It was a little bit emotional in terms of like, damn, I actually finally got there after all this time. Literally, guys, it's literally taken me over 3 years to get here. If you don't have that sort of commitment, just forget it. And for me, guys, I genuinely think it wasn't actually... All right, let me break it down like this. It actually hasn't taken me 3 years to get here. It looks like way because... Well, it genuinely has, but anyway, but let me try to explain what I'm kind of saying here. Below the surface, I had no teachings. As in, like, if you look back on my channel, my very first video, I'll throw it up here if you want me to on this particular video. But go and watch that video. It's very cringy, by the way. I just watched it back earlier just to look back on my actual journey. But the same things I'm talking about in that video, I genuinely still believe today, such as like 9 to 5s are a scam. The 40-40-40 system is a scam where you work, I believe it's like 40 years of your life, 40k a year, and you retire on 40% of what you earned. That's literally the biggest scam. That's the biggest MLM scam or like pyramid scheme you could actually come across. University, a huge scam. I'm gonna break that down in a second. In fact, I was told by my cousin I actually should do a video like this. I'll probably make a whole nother video on this probably next or even next after this video. But long story short, guys, let me give you an idea. It's like I said, it has taken me 3 years to actually get to this particular point. Now, the first like year and a half, first 18 months, for example, nothing really happened for me. I'm not even joking. I was so broke, so dead broke, that I literally, to build my business, had to borrow money from my little brother. I literally had to borrow his computer. I literally had to borrow money just to get a haircut. I just remember so many embarrassing stories. Let me give you a real life story that I actually had to go through, and the embarrassment I've actually been through throughout this journey. The journey's been crazy, guys. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Every time I've been close to hitting that 8k per month mark or 10k per month mark, I've just literally broken it down. And that's because of things I had to deal with inside, like my own, I guess, the way how I saw myself and perceived myself. But yeah, anyway, long story short, guys, let me actually break down like my story. So I basically started out business, right, with it was actually negative £132.71 in my Barclays overdraft account, because I had like a student account. I then started getting into like drop shipping and stuff like that. I tried to start a web design agency, didn't really go well. And then eventually I started doing drop shipping, started making a little bit of money. When I say a little bit of money, I was making maybe, I don't know, $20, $30, $50 a day profit after all the costs and stuff like that. But see, with dropshipping, that's one of the things. The profit margins most of the time is kind of sucks, if I'm being honest with you. You get like 40 to 50, 60% profit margin, something like that. It was kind of cool to learn like advertising and stuff like that. I then just transitioned into a social media marketing agency. That's when I had big problems. And the reason why I kind of started dropshipping is because I knew I could kind of like click buttons and make money type of thing, but it doesn't really work like that, guys. I'm being honest with you. For me, it didn't anyway. I then transitioned into social media, a social media marketing agency, and nothing happened for me for 17 months. I repeat, nothing happened for me for 17 months. There were times where I was closing I remember my first ever client, for example, was a hair salon in Manchester. I reached out to them via DM and they paid me one time of £250 or something like that. So I wasn't proud enough to actually put that on my YouTube channel. But guys, throughout this entire journey, it was such a struggle for me to actually, I don't know what it was. For me, it feels like I just had zero teachings, because you see, with a lot of people on YouTube that talk about social media marketing agencies and stuff like that, and they're already making like 20, 50K, and they scale up way faster than me. They've been entrepreneurs way longer than I have. I genuinely, when I said I was starting entrepreneur from broke, I literally didn't even have a week's worth of, I've never sold anything at that particular point. I ever sold anything at that particular point. I was just getting into reading. I remember my first book I ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I just reread a month ago. By the way, that book literally changed my life. I believe that is the book that kind of put me on this path. I then started YouTube because of like Gary Vee. But guys, that's the sort of journey I've gone through. I then got my first client, which was like a real estate client. They paid me £750 for 3-month minimum. That was like back in September, like last year or something like that. That was like that was my first actual paying client. That was my first paying client that I was proud of. And there's a big difference. Getting £250 one time to do like social media posts is different from like when you actually get a Facebook ad client that's you're actually running ads for and doing lead generation for. And to be honest with you guys, it took me way too long to actually build up my business. I didn't actually make any money from my YouTube channel, for example, until like maybe, I think it was like 2 years after or something like that, on that January 18th. I think it was actually, the funny thing is, I think I actually made my first like money from my personal brand like 2 years after us, or something like that. It was really ridiculous. Like the delay in my earnings has been absolutely ridiculous, but now it's kind of like shooting through the roof, and hopefully we're going on even bigger than that, to 20K, 30K, 50K, 60K, to that 7-figure mark is what I'm aiming for, of course. So long story short, guys, don't give up. If people tell you to go get a job, tell them get the hell out of here. I've always been saying this on my YouTube channel, but like, if the person you're listening to doesn't have the lifestyle that you want, don't listen to them. And what I mean by that, it sounds egotistical, but then when you think about it logically, it genuinely makes sense. For example, would you guys learn how to ride a bike from a dude that doesn't know how to ride a bike? No, you wouldn't. Would you take health advice from a dude that's literally 500 pounds, like he's extremely obese? Why would you, like, you wouldn't do that. Would you learn how to drive a car from a dude who doesn't know how to drive a car? So why are you trying to learn business from dudes that don't know how to, or taking advice from people who have not got a business? And why are you trying to learn from people who have not got a business? It just doesn't work like that, which is why it kind of brings me on to university. I'm so glad I dropped out of university. I want to break this down for you guys real quick, because I'm going to make it very simple for you guys. University is a scam. Some of you are probably going to be like, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not. Let me give you an example. If I was in, let's say we go back on January the 18th, where my YouTube video is. I'll pop the date up or something like that on the screen. I'll probably get my video editor to do that or something. But like, if we let's take me, and you've got another me, you've got version 1 and version 2. Version 1 is the dude that went onto YouTube and started SMMA. Version 2 is the dude that went to university. Which one do you think would be making more money right now? 3 years later, I think it's like 3 years and 4 months later or something like that. Yeah, 3 years is pretty much 3 years and 4 months later. If you said version 2 of me, the dude that went to university, you'd actually be dead wrong. Here's why. Most university degrees take 3 years just to graduate anyway. Then after graduation, most people that have graduated take at least 6 months to 9 months to actually find a job. Not only that, but when they do eventually find a job, depending on the market, which they don't control, by the way, that's actually, it's all about supply and demand in that market. If you can't understand that, then you definitely need to get out of business, because business 101 is supply and demand, literally. But anyway, long story short, when they do eventually land the job after, graduating, I don't know what the actual statistic is, but I'm sure it's like 30-40% of people that are, I think it even might be more than this. Don't quote me on this though. Go and look and do the research yourself, by the way. Don't just listen to a dude on YouTube. But anyway, long story short, I think that like the majority of people that actually graduate university can't find jobs, but then when they do find jobs, the job that they're working at is something very below their degree that they've actually earned, as in like it's got nothing to do with the degree that they've actually earned. So right now, if I was to have listened to my parents, I'm not even joking, I love them and whatnot, but right now I would probably be making 4K at the absolute max. Probably absolute max. I'd probably be at that 2,500, 3K per month mark. Most of the people I know that graduated from my university are making 3K per month right now, and that's like their upper limit. I've actually had talks with my friends like what's the most they've made, and they've all graduated and stuff like that. I won't say any of their names, and like most of them was like 3.2K is the most, and that's British pounds. And I literally made that I literally doubled that in the last 4 weeks, for example. So as you can see, not only that, but I'm not limited as well by say like a job. If you work a job, right, you're always going to have to answer to a boss. Not only that, but your earning potential is limited. Because obviously there's going to be a cap. You can't just go to a job and start making 500K or even, you know, a million or plus. Whereas with a business, that potential is always there. That's actually small for a business. If you actually take a look at a definition of like an SME, small medium enterprise, small to medium size enterprise, I believe it's like 500K and below. It's actually classed a small business, like a micro business. There's businesses out there are literally making that every day. Now, I'm not even joking. Go out there, take a look at Amazon, for example. Ridiculous. Go look at Apple, for example. $1 trillion companies. But as you can see, guys, it's absolutely crazy what you can do with business. Not only that, but like a lot of people are in this mindset where they think the money you make is based upon the amount of hours you make. Work, the amount of hours you work. And what I mean by that is they directly link their income to the amount of hours they actually work, which means if you make $10 an hour, if you work 10 hours, you're going to make $100. 10 times 10 is 100. Whereas if you work 20 hours a day and you have 4 hours sleep, God bless, I don't know how you're going to ever do that, you'd make $200 a day. So as you can see, there's always, because you've actually then assigned your dollar amount to the amount of time spent earning those dollars, it will always be capped, because time is a finite resource that runs out, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So you need to figure out how to either get paid in your sleep, increase your value, or just do something completely different, and or get, you know, paid based on value, which is what I'm going to lead on to next. So version 2 of me would have gone to university, probably would have ended up with a degree right now, probably would have stumbled in this. Oh guys, and not even to mention the whole thing that's going on with the world right now with you know what. I'm not going to say it, but you know, the whole crazy shutdown of the entire planet. Right now, if I had listened to my parents, I don't want to say I told you so, but I definitely told you guys. So I'm right now making 10K per month right now. I would have been probably either, I know for a fact I would have got into some sort of job where some sort of cut would have happened. Probably. I probably would have been in some sort of job right now where I would have been made redundant. I would have been furloughed. My income would have dropped. I'd be making way less money. And so as you can see, job security isn't really a thing. And the whole, you know, thing what's happened with the world has literally shown us that. So again, that's another factor you guys need to take into consideration. So right now I actually get paid based on value. Not only that, but when I'm making this money, I'm not actually spending too much time on my business. Let me actually break down to you what I do on a day-to-day basis. I literally wake up 6:30, go for my morning routine. I've been waking up at 6:30 for a long time now. Then what I do is I jump into my work block at 8:45. Throughout the first hour is literally just me doing Upwork outreach. Normally it takes me around 45 minutes if I'm being honest with you. I then jump into email outreach, but for me, I already have my emails being written for me by a first line writer. So all I do is I look through their work and make sure that there's no spelling errors or any grammatical errors. And what I do is I send them off in a software called Lemlist. Lemlist is a email automation tool that allows you to send mass emails at scale, basically. And what I do is I spend my time on sales calls, closing clients, or I'm managing my team, or I'm building something else, basically. So as you can see, most of the time I'm not even spending 4 to 5 hours of deep work. And deep work, when I mean deep work, I'm talking like there's no music on, there's no TV, there's no mobile phone next to me like this. I'm just literally just diving into outreach. So that's kind of like where I'm at now. Can you imagine if I really did listen to my parents? I'm not even joking, I'd probably be broke right now, probably making 2.5K a month or something like that. Cool, that would be probably, I don't know, consistent, a little bit more consistent with a job. So obviously that's just a locked in payment. As it's a locked in payment, there's no room to increase your monthly income. There's not really much room for creativity. You have to listen, you have to obviously abide by their rules. You're not your own boss. You're not really independent. I know this is gonna sound a little bit like, I won't say cocky or anything like that, because I really am a humble dude. I'm literally still driving the same friggin' car I've literally had from the age of 2019, I literally refused to upgrade it because cars are just freaking stupid. If as long as it gets me from point A to point B, I don't care. You don't see me in like really fancy designer clothes or anything like that. I'm just literally buy like £20 hoodies, £15 hoodies and stuff like that, and just literally chill and do my work and make money and stuff like that. But guys, look, I really think that like people think that being independent is, and this is what I think, that like, how can you say you're independent, right, when you rely on your boss for your job and he can cut you at any particular time? So you're telling that, how is that independence? Think about it. All right, then I guess you can kind of put that into let me put it into perspective. I guess it's the sort of like let me put it into context. I've had to, number one, buy the laptop. I bought the laptop. I owned the laptop. I had to register the company name. I came up with the company name. I had to come up with the products that we were going to, also that's the services we're going to sell. I named the services. I priced the services. I then had to reach out to the people who I was selling the services to. I then had to put a team in place to actually automate that. I then got on the sales calls. I closed these sales calls. I take the payments. I then found a team member to deliver that service. So who's more independent? The person who, if they was to go broke, they would have to go and find another job, or the person that has been broke, literally started from negative £132 and being able to build it up to 10k per month using just a laptop and the knowledge in his head. Actually, these particular points, I don't even need a mobile phone to run my business. I literally can run my phone from just a laptop because I use Zoom for all my sales calls. But anyway, guys, this video is getting way too long. Just a few key takeaways here, guys, is don't give up. Don't listen to people who tell you to go get a job. Yes, I had a whole bunch of fights. You're gonna have to go through those fights with like your parents and stuff like that. There were times where I literally had to run away from home. I still remember very vividly that like when I was like living in my parents' house and I'd like come down from my bedroom into like the kitchen and my parents were in the kitchen and I was just there, my brother wasn't there. It was like very awkward. Like I could just literally feel the atmosphere, and I just felt this horrible feeling in my gut that like they were thinking in their heads like, what is this pathetic dude doing? All he does is come down, eat our food, go back up to his bedroom and just waste his life away. When realistically, I was actually in my bedroom trying to build, like literally like a madman. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going through that. You just have to push through those days. I, for example, had to literally listen to like Jim Rohn and like motivational podcasts and motivational speakers speak, such as like Earl Nightingale and like Jim Rohn, like I said. There was a few others of them, I can't remember their names, but you know, forgive me for that. Dale Carnegie and stuff, people like that. But yeah, I can remember those particular days, man. Damn, it's been crazy. But guys, we made it, man. We made it. I feel like putting a Drake, we made it on real quick. someone put that in the comment section. But anyway, long story short, guys, don't give up. Stay consistent. You will get there. It's not actually that much amount of money, so don't put it on a pedestal. It feels crazy when you get here because it's like what you go through. It's quite actually disappointing, if I'm being honest with you. Like I said, guys, it feels if like sometimes it felt like well, when I was going through it, I just had like this weird rush of emotions for like 3 minutes, something like that. I just sat here looking at my bank and I was just literally like, how did this happen? Like just last month I was only making like, I don't know, 2k or something like that. 2, 3, 4k, 5k was like my kind of like record. I think that was pounds, by the way. I think that was like 7.3k USD was like the closest I've ever got to like hitting like the 8.3k mark. And then this month it just literally blew up. Like, I'm not even joking. Hopefully next month's even bigger, because now I actually know what I'm doing. The cold outreach stuff genuinely does work. So guys, I don't know where I'm going with this video. This has been a long ass video. I want you to just look back on my channel and just really see what I've gone through. There was times where I developed anxiety. No joke, guys. I had health anxiety to the point where there was actually 2 times I had to call the ambulance. We literally called the ambulance. There was one time I had a panic attack in back of my brother's car. He almost wrote off the car by crashing into like a bridge. Was going over a bridge, and I was like really just, I thought I was having some sort of stroke or something like that. Turns out I was actually having an actual panic attack. My like fingers locked up, my face locked up. So I thought I was like having some sort of stroke. Like, I'm genuinely not even joking. It sounds funny now talking about it, but it wasn't funny in that particular. My heart was racing. I was getting tingles all over my face, all over my hands, all over my in my chest. My chest was literally just tingling. It almost felt like I was numb, like my chest. It was so freaking weird, man. I literally had to call 999. They didn't actually come because I actually came around. After that, I was hyperventilating. That's what it's called. And then 2, I had another one where the first ever panic attack was back in January or March. I think it was like March, Aprilish of 2018. Just after that first video I shot on YouTube, and ever since then I've never actually been the same. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Before that, I never actually had any sort of anxiety. Well, I had a little bit of like hypochondria, but that was like nothing out of the ordinary. And after this one panic attack, I've never actually been the same, such as like, after that panic attack, I started developing ringing in my ears, and I've still got it now. But anyway, guys, it's been a crazy story, man. I'm finally here and it feels good. Let me just end it off with this. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen that scene in The Wolf of Wall Street where he says, I've been a broke man and I've been a rich man and I choose rich every time. Money can't buy you happiness, but that's all I'm saying, guys. Like, I definitely am enjoying myself way more now that I've actually got money. Like, sort out your money first, guys. If you're gonna do anything, sort out your money first. Yes, cool, you can be all spiritual and stuff like that, but we live it on a physical plane. Master the physical first, then master spirituality after that, is my motto. Because what you're gonna do if, for example, who you gonna pray to if someone comes and punches you in your face? Like, nobody. That's physical matter, making contact with physical matter. There's no praying. You have to dodge and weave and fight back. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, you wanna master the physical first and then the material first, should I say, master the material and the physical first, and then go into the spiritual stuff. You want to go into all of that woo-woo stuff about money can't buy happiness. I think, it definitely can't buy happiness because you can't buy an emotion. Like, who even thought that you could buy an emotion? You can't buy emotions, but it can buy you the things that do make you happy. So indirectly it can buy you happiness. But yeah, guys, as I was saying, I'm gonna start getting more and more busy. I'm gonna double down on everything that's working. I've got proof of concept now, and eventually what I'm gonna do is obviously get to that 20k, 30k, 40k, 60k, 80k per month mark is what I'm trying to scale up to. And yeah, and eventually I'm gonna put all my knowledge that I know into a particular course for you, but it's not gonna be like a really crappy course that like everyone else sells. I've noticed in everybody else's course that like they miss out the most important things. So I'm gonna be the guy that brings you those most important things, like lead sourcing at scale and actual email tips on how to split test, how to actually write emails and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys soon. Go out there and kill it, man. Peace.